I fucking hate dating. I went out with not one, not two, but 3 men this week. The first one is actually really dope, but is still in love with his ex. Second one asked me to rate our kiss afterwards and said, how close was it to you taking me back to your place? The third one said, was talking all this about his makeout game. At the end of the night, finally, I got something all right. He was like, women, hit my line.
Can you guys imagine being a woman in 2021 having difficulty dating? I mean, dating for women is the easiest thing. Here's what you do. You go to your local library, you sit down, and you wait for men to approach you. It doesn't matter where you go. So when these girls are out here saying, oh yeah, I went on 3 dates today and they were all terrible, who the hell cares? For men at the moment in 2021, you want to set up a date, you're lucky if the girl even shows up to the date with an hour's notice that she's cancelled on you. I mean, really. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be taking a look at this particular TikTok as well as jumping into some relationship stories, right? Because a lot of guys are out here having really crappy relationships, thinking that they're by themselves in this. Absolutely not, guys. Relationships in 2021, they're an S show, to be completely honest with you. A lot of guys are out here struggling with this stuff. This side of the internet is completely booming right now because men are looking at it and saying, hey, you know what? I've had enough. And they come to these sites of the internet and they go, wow, there's a lot of other men on here who have had enough as well. And you compare your relationships and things like that. And there are some commonalities. There are some things happening to a lot of gentlemen out here. So we're going to be talking about some of those today. But if you're new here, guys, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord link in the description if you haven't already. And as always, guys, if you'd like to support the channel, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description. So if you're interested in becoming a supporter for the channel, that's a great way to do it. And the link for that is somewhere below the video in the description. But we're going to jump straight back into this TikTok, unpack it really quickly, and then we're going to get into today's stories. So let's get on with it.
I fucking hate dating. I went out with not one, not two, but 3 men this week.
Yeah, 3 men in 1 week, by the way. So, I'll get guys over here, girls over here who will say, Taylor, it's so terrible of you. How could you suggest that if a girl hasn't had bedroom fun with you on the 2nd date, how could you suggest to move on? That's so rude. That's so crazy. Or how could you suggest to date, if you're going to date, by the way, guys, how could you suggest to date multiple women at once? How dare you, Taylor? That's so terrible. And what they fail to realize is that these women are out here dating multiple men at once. Most girls are out here doing what's called spinning plates, gentlemen. Okay, so if you're a guy and you're still choosing to be involved in the dating market, hell, I'd recommend you do it too. There is no, why the hell would you give your loyalty, your commitment, your resources, your time, your emotional energy, your emotions to a girl who is seeing 3 guys a week plus? Okay, it's just, now, if these girls were out here not doing that and not seeing any guys and what, I'd be like, okay, guys, go for it. You can pay for dates. Hell, if she doesn't have bedroom fun with you on the 1st date, that's totally cool because she's not doing it with any other guys. But these girls are out here seeing 3+ dudes a week. Okay, so show some self-respect, guys. Don't commit to 304s. Let's continue.
The first one is actually really dope, but is still in love with his ex. Second one asked me to rate our kiss afterwards and said, how close was it to you taking me back to your place?
This is actually something really funny that we as men, we do a lot in relationships, guys. Don't ask a woman questions on your performance or how you did. Just take the lead and assume you do fine. Okay, guys? None of this oh, did I do okay? You just lead. If she likes it, she likes it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Okay, because unfortunately, in 2021, guys, if you're asking women questions, you're deferring to them for leadership and all this kind of thing. They're going to lose respect for you very fast because, unfortunately, that's just interpreted as weakness, right? It is what it is.
The third one said, was talking all this about his makeout game. At the end of the night, finally, I got something all right. He was like, women. Hit my line.
And then that's the funniest part to end it off with, right? They'll say, okay, well, I'm going to date women now. Okay, cool. Goodbye. No, nobody really asked. Like, girls will say this all the time. Man, I really don't like men. I'm going to go and date women. It's like nobody's stopping you. Go and do it. But you see, society lies to men and they say, you know what, you as a man, you don't bring anything to the table, right? They say, hey, just give away your commitment, give away your emotions to the nearest girl because that's just what you're supposed to do as a guy, okay? But what society fails to tell men is that you're actually valuable, guys. Your attention, your time, your resources, that crap is valuable, and girls do want that. I'll try and get in relationships for you for those things. I cannot tell you how many relationships exist purely because the girl does not get the validation she wants from the guy, so she's chasing that validation. I cannot tell you how many romantic relationships exist because of that. And people want to brush it under and say it's because of love. No, 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 no. Validation, resources, time, attention. Okay, all this crap that men have been trained to give away for free is what these girls are after. So they can cry about, oh yeah, I'm going to go date girls. Cool. Go and try and get those things from a girl. And like, they'll just get bored real quick. You see, they'll always be chasing the top 10% of men. Okay? Well, let's get into these stories, guys, because I find these pretty interesting, and we're going to break them down and share some opinions. So, guys, feel free to share your opinions in the comments as we go through, or any similar experiences you might have had. But let's jump into it. So, I, a 26-year-old male, have been casually seeing a woman who's a 28-year-old female for a few months. Last night, she invited me on a trip to meet her parents and then spent the night at a hotel with another guy. Do I have any right to be upset, given that we are not exclusive? We are both traveling nurses, so it's very hard to have a normal relationship trajectories because, well, we travel all the time. Essentially, we met at work last winter, went on a couple of dates, which escalated pretty quickly. He had to leave, but they communicated almost daily after that. She was eager to book a flight to come visit, but the timing didn't work out for me. A few weeks ago, my travels brought me to her area, and I flew in to see her. We spent 5 days together, doing all the coupley stuff and doing all of the activities. And they didn't define the relationship in that time. Okay, so a couple of things to point out first of all here. One, the girl is older. Wouldn't recommend it. Okay, like the older a girl is, gentlemen, you're going to be dealing with more and more problems. Now you can look at me saying that and go, "Wow, Taylor, that's disgusting." But if you want to date a 30-plus-year-old girl, if you want to date a girl that's older than you, go for it. All right, but let me tell you, if you're a guy and you do not have as much life experience, if you are not a good leader, if you're lacking in these kind of dimensions, girls are not going to respect it, and they're going to try and become. You guys ever notice how if a girl is older in a relationship, she's got more life experience, she'll start to become very domineering. She won't respect the man very much. She'll treat him like crap, and the relationships will just turn terrible. A lot of the time, guys, it's just better just to not date older women, especially single mothers, women over 30, all this kind of crap. You'll save yourself so much time and headache steering clear of these girls. That's the first thing. Okay. Now the second thing, which we might save to point out for a little while, actually. So we'll keep reading the story and then get back into it. Anyway. Yesterday, she was having fun with the guy over text and asked him to be her date for a friend's wedding in September, and she also invited him on a canoe trip with her parents, saying that he's her #1 choice. At the same time, on social media, she is posting updates of her partying with another dude I am vaguely aware of, someone she has been involved with in the past. End result, she was with him in his hotel last night. I normally would not be bothered by this. I enjoy my freedoms as well, but it seems kind of icky to invite one guy to meet your family the same night you're having fun with someone else. Perspective. Guys, you have to understand that when you talk to girls, hell, when you talk to anybody, but mainly girls, you got to understand that the words are actually separate from what they mean. Okay, so I'll get guys, there'll be all sorts of men who will tell you, well, how come she told me this, but then she went and did this? Or how come she said that, and then all of a sudden she was doing this? Guys, we never believe the words, okay? Never, ever, ever believe the words. You got to watch what they do. All right, so a lot of guys, what they'll do is their girlfriend will do something really crappy to them, and then they'll try and justify her behavior based off on the word, she's really sorry, or or she'll make up some kind of excuse, or like she did it because of this, or she was feeling this way, so it caused her to lash out and do that. Like, guys, just ignore the words. Okay, the words mean essentially nothing. Just look at the actions. Now, does this man have the right to be angry? Probably not. But he's right. It is pretty slimy. Okay. Now, feel free to share your opinions on that, guys. But you see, here's the thing, right? Girls will lie to you about what kind of position you have in their life. You've always got to be watching what they're doing. Okay. And again, this goes into the first TikTok I was talking about, right? Like, you can think setting up for a relationship with this girl, it seems like she's really interested in you, but she's seeing other guys on the side. Okay, and you could say, well, oh, this is because he didn't lock her down instantly. It's like this girl would have been out here seeing these dudes beforehand, before being locked down anyway, having a rotation of guys going. All right. So to think that you're just this boyfriend that's going to swing along to the average girl, and you're going to be her boyfriend, she's going to be your girlfriend, and you're just going to live happily ever after. No, no, no. A lot of these girls are out here. When girls say they're single, they're not. They're seeing dudes. Okay. When girls say they're single, they're out there having fun. All right. Anyway, let's see some of these comments, because I'd be interested to see what some of these guys say. All right. You have a right to feel however you feel. If you're upset she did this, you're obviously not on the same page. So consider if you want to try and get on the same page, or if she's just not a good match for you. The main thing bothering me is that he can't think of how to ask her personal questions about the fun times. This is an interesting comment right here, okay? So it's come to my attention that you're likely being intimate with someone other than myself, which is up to you. We aren't exclusive. However, we do need to have a discussion about certain times of health, personal limitations, and safety. Guys, this is a mistake that a lot of men will make. They'll try and sit down and they'll try and negotiate. All right, Mr. Rollo Tomasi calls it negotiating attraction, as well as some other people, but at the end of the day, you can't be sitting down having these conversations with girls expecting that they're going to do anything. Okay, we as guys, we think, okay, well, we can sit down, we can have a logical conversation, and then we can solve some problems. That's actually not how it works. All right, girls, they don't hear, man. We as men, we look at the content of the words. Girls just don't even care. Like, and if you sit down, you try and say some hyperlogical crap like this just to find out if she's been having fun in a certain way, she's just going to be like, she's not going to like this. All right, as in she's not going to be attracted to this kind of behavior. Okay, it's like guys want to sit down and they want to say. Like, I mean, look at this. It sounds like you're writing a business letter, right? So it's come to my attention. No, 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 no. Just stop caring so much about these girls, man. We're not sitting here trying to have conversations with them, trying to solve our problems with words. Okay, you don't negotiate attraction with words. It doesn't work. All right, but let's jump into next story over here, and I'm just going to switch the screen real quick and pull it up for you boys. Alrighty, now this is a situation that a lot of you guys might be familiar with, and this is the classic, absolutely psychopathic long-term relationship. All right, so I get messages on my Patreon about whether guys have been in long-term relationships, and they'll say, "Man, it was absolutely terrible." And the really sad part about this is they're not alone. Like when they say that, guys, these men out here in relationships, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been in long-term relationships. They're an absolute pain in your backside. All right, and a lot of negative things come along with them. So we're going to jump into this story and kind of break it down. Again, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments as we go through. All right, it is titled, "I, a 30-year-old male, am about to break up with my girlfriend, a 31-year-old female." Again, notice how she's older. "We were together for 11 years. Need advice. So I'm breaking up with my girlfriend. We were together for 11 years. I need advice on how to manage this break. She will probably try to get back with me, but I think she has serious mental problems, and I have tried everything to help her and told her to get therapy, but she just keeps acting worse and worse. Yesterday, she snapped on me for something so stupid, a thing that she should be happy about, screamed in my face and threw a pillow in my head and said me and my family can all go to hell, and proceeded to slam every door on her path to the bedroom. I was just sitting on the couch watching her in disgust. This kind of scene happens once a month in different variations." Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are reading this or hearing this if you're not watching the screen right now, and you can relate to that very much. Okay, maybe you've been in a relationship with a girl who is just absolutely psychotic or would just seemingly do these things out of nowhere. One One thing I would recommend, particularly for the older gentlemen who have a few more relationships under their belt, is I would encourage you to look up on Google BPD. Okay, now that is a cluster B personality disorder. It is a borderline personality disorder. It is not bipolar disorder. It is borderline personality disorder. And this is a disorder that is quite common in girls. Okay, and I'm going to have to, at some point, just address this disorder in its entirety because it's so damn common in 2021 with girls. But you guys have to be vetting. If you are wanting to have a long-term relationship with someone, you need to be vetting, particularly their mental health. All right. I get a lot of stories of guys who have been through terrible situations, and a lot of it can be chalked up to a certain profile of girl, and one of those profiles is borderlines. Now, these girls are actually incredibly dangerous, okay? And when I say dangerous, I don't just mean from, a physical standpoint. I mean for your mental health, man. Like, these relationships can really screw up guys for the rest of their lives, and you'll see behavior like this all of the time. All right, so just again, I would encourage you guys to do your research on it. There's probably guys in the comments who are having who are hearing me say this and go, "Oh man, I know exactly what you're talking about." But for the guys who aren't aware, maybe do some research on BPD, and you might find that you've been in a relationship with one of these people in the past, and it could have some useful information in there for you. But we're going to continue with this and continue to unpack it. All right, I'm not going. I'm not going to get into it, but my family has done nothing but help her in every way possible, while her family has never done anything for me. She is a person that cannot be talked to in a normal way and will always end up crying or having a manic, angry, screaming rant when it comes to talking with me, the man who helped her so much in her life. But the problem is I'm always concerned for her well-being, and this time I'm sure I don't want to have to do anything with her anymore. Please, fellow Redditors, give me some useful advice on how to stay strong and avoid getting back with her, or just your stories, anything will help. And this person says, you will feel so free and light when you get out, and that alone is worth more than anything. All the best to you. All right, and the original poster says, when I think about it, I can almost feel it, the happiness and the freedom. The only problem is I know she would not let go that easily. It will be a full-blown drama. Thank you. Now, we can look at stories like this, gentlemen, and these are sadly, it's not as if these are one-offs or incredibly uncommon. All right, a lot of relationships devolve into this sort of thing, and it's just incredibly sad to see, man. And in 2021, in particular, I'll be honest, girls are actually incentivized to act more like this in general, right? We're in society where you as a guy, your time, your energy, your resources are not altogether respected. I might play. I've got another TikTok sitting here for a video after this one that'll be released in a few hours. But guys, your time. Like, if you leave it up to you, if you leave it up to other people, your time, your energy, and your resources are not going to be respected unless you actually respect them yourselves. If you leave it as the default, people are going to use you, they're going to waste your time, and they're going to treat you like garbage. Okay, so it has to come down to, guys, you need to be doing something about this. All right, don't let yourself be walked over. It makes me so, like, it physically hurts me, man, when I see these guys out and they're in relationships where they're just tolerating a stupid amount of disrespect for no reason. Okay? And I'll see if we've got one more story here before we close up today's video, gentlemen. Let me have a look real quick. The casually seeing with the trip with the parents, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, so this is a bit of an interesting one that we might wrap up, and this might be a little bit longer of an episode because of this story, okay? But this is another one. All right. Should I try to work on developing a friendship instead of kicking her to the curb with his now ex-girlfriend after she came out and cheated on him? Okay, so he, a 25-year-old male, has been dating this girl who's 23 for a year and a half. She lost her job due to the pandemic and didn't have any other place to go. So he asked her to move in with him, even though his place is quite small. They've been growing a bit distant during the pandemic because he works long hours as the sole earner, and she doesn't get to spend as much time with him. The girlfriend has been spending this time with one of her friends, who is a 26-year-old female, who happens to be bi. One day, I was working an overnight shift and came back to find the girlfriend waiting and crying. Looked as though she'd been crying, excuse me. I asked her what happened, and she told me that she slept with her friend last night while I was at work after having a few too many glasses of wine. She then told me she'd had feelings for girls since high school, but have always repressed them, considering them to be abnormal. She then proceeded to tell me that she is now ready to come out of the closet. Scroll down a bit here. He had been listening patiently while she finished, despite being very furious on the inside. He told her that coming out was great for her and he wished her the best, but told her to get out within 1 week. Good man. Good man. She then broke down crying again, saying that she didn't have any place to go and no money to pay rent, so he told her that it wasn't his problem and she needed to start looking. She cried, saying that she thought he was her friend. Now he got mad and told her, "No, I was your boyfriend before you cheated on me. Now get the hell out of my house and go stay with the friend she cheated on him with." She broke down again and went into the bathroom and started calling him a bigot. He'll be removing her stuff after a week if she isn't out. He can do that, excuse me, because she's not a tenant, not in the US, so spare the lawsuit comments. It seems to me, gentlemen, that the craziness is incredibly common these days. Right? And it's not funny, okay? Like, I'm laughing at these situations, but it's not funny. All right? We see all of this stuff going on every day, and people just want to walk by as if it's normal or as if it's something that that should just happen. Okay? Guys, let me say this. Relationships by default, if you're someone who maybe you've grown up in a broken family, your mother or your father weren't around, particularly if your father wasn't around, okay? Just be careful about the boundaries you set, because if you don't have those boundaries in place, you're going to end up tolerating people like this in your life for no damn reason. All right? Like, if you don't have any sort of boundaries and you're just accepting any girl that comes into your life, be prepared to deal with crappy situations like this. Okay, and this is what I'm talking about when, like, your kindness will just be taken for granted a lot of the time. All right, so you need to be vetting the girls that come into your life, just so you don't end up in situations like this. But good on the man for kicking her straight out of the house. That's fantastic to see. But guys, we're going to leave today's video there. As always, if you enjoy, make sure you subscribe on your way out. Come and join the Discord link in the description if you haven't already. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel, guys, the Patreon link is somewhere below the video. So if you're interested in becoming a supporter, that's a fantastic way to support the channel. But we're going to leave it there, gentlemen. As always, I will see you boys in the next one. Take care.